Vi rör oss från ett hett område försvar till ett annat hett område guld. Vi har Akobo Minerals här som ska prata om guldutvinning i Etiopien. Varmt välkommen. Presentationen hålls av vd Jørgen Evjen. Välkommen.
Tack, tack. Tack. Och jag kommer till att göra presentation på engelsk. Det är enklare för mig och säkert enklare för dere, selv om norsk pleier å fungere bra. So I'll switch. I'm Jørgen Evjen. I'm the CEO of Akobo Minerals. We're a Scandinavian-based and Ethiopian gold producer and explorer. We are based, as I said, in Ethiopia. That's where we are doing our mining activities. We have a strong corporate foundation. We are ready to continue our growth. And as you can see from the small picture there, we're in a geological belt called the Arabian-Nubian Shield, where you will find a lot of the big mines, gold mines. It stretches all the way from Ethiopia through Eritrea, Sudan, all the way into Saudi Arabia. So we're on the right track when it comes to the geological formation. We have a strong local foothold. We've been working here for 15 years. I was part of the founders 15 years. I worked this company the first 10 years in my spare time. Then the last 5 years, I've been working full-time CEO, taking it from a small exploration company to now a listed company on the Euronext Stock Exchange with around 230 employees in Ethiopia. And we've built the mine. We've started selling gold. And as you will see, we are also EBITDA positive these days. We're very low cost, we're very flexible, and we're now supported from cash flow from our operating mine. And you can see some nice doré bars there that are produced at site. So our ambition is to become the leading miner exploration company in Ethiopia. We have the basis in place, we have the foundation in place. So for us now, it's about continuing what we're doing, meaning mining, and then expand and increase our exploration footprint. So just a snapshot. Our mine Segele is not your typical gold resource. It's extremely high grade. I will come back to it. It's a 15-year story and going from pure greenfield, where there was nothing there, to a discovery and a producing mine. So we're not your typical junior miner that has a lot of fancy slides telling about results here and there. We're actually doing it. We're not the lifestyle company that you find many places. We're producing and we're running and we're actually in production compared to a lot of other junior miners around. So we're also the first international mine to open in Ethiopia since 1993. It tells you something about the investment climate, of course, in Ethiopia, but also about the journey that we've been through and everything we managed. We never gave up, and we continued, and we managed to get to where we are today. Not long ago, a couple of months ago, we also got the Ethiopian Sovereign Fund on board as an owner. That's a huge milestone. That was a 2-year, call it negotiation, with National Bank, the Sovereign Fund, the Prime Minister. And this is the first time they invest outside of Ethiopia for 100 years. So it's a huge milestone, not only for Ethiopia, but of course for us as a mining company, a small company based out of Norway, Sweden. And yeah, it's a good support. We're listed on Euronext Growth, as I said. Our ticker is Akobo. We have an in-situ value of the mineral resource around $280 million. Our market cap is around $50 million. And we have a gold loan, which is around $40 million. The gold loan is nominated in ounces, so the dollar value will go up and down in accordance with the gold price. The same as the value of the deposit. It also varies with the gold price. the higher the gold price, the higher the cash flow and the value of the deposit. So there's a natural hedge here between the gold deposit and the gold loan. And you can see on the right-hand side, we have a very transparent corporate structure. We're a Swedish company at the top, listed in Oslo. Then we have an operational company in between. It's a Norwegian one, Abyssinia Resources, which then again owns our entity in Ethiopia, Ethno Mining. That's where all the licenses are, both a mining license and an exploration license. Around 3,000 shareholders, a lot of Swedish retail shareholders, probably around 2,000 of them. And then the majority is owned still by friends and family out of Norway. So we're looking to diversify, of course, that part and to get more investors into the company. You can't do mining in Ethiopia without having responsible operations. You can call it ESG, CSR. I like to just talk about it as doing it right. We have an award-winning ESG policy. We have a low environmental footprint in our mine. The fact that we're very Ethiopian-based, there are only 2 of us employed outside of Ethiopia. It's myself and a finance manager. Everyone else is working and living in Ethiopia. We have a few expats who are experts in underground mining and processing plant processing. That's needed. You can't find all the qualifications in Ethiopia, but mainly there are a lot of good Ethiopians. There are 110, 20 millions of them. They have 40 universities. They've had a lot of focus on exploration and geology. So a lot of good candidates to tap into. And of course, local employment is important. Ethiopia is a bit special, never been colonized. So we're really trying to build a strong local organization. Again, focus on safety and compliance is important. Our site is about 750 kilometers from Addis, all the way to the border of South Sudan. That might sound a bit dangerous, but it's not. It's one of the best places to operate in Ethiopia. It's very quiet. We've had 15 years of non-stop operation, even through COVID and through the Tigray conflict in north. We never stopped. We continued working. And we have a strong focus on the local community, working with them on health issues, clinics, water infrastructure, and more. So the current status, we're reporting a positive EBITDA for the third quarter this year. First time in our 15-year history. That's a huge milestone for us. Finally, we're making money. We have a steady production of 6 to 8 kilos per month. In dollar terms, that's probably around $700,000-800,000 a month. We're operational break-even when we produce around 5 kilos a month. We have a full-scale and very modern processing plant. Right now, we're only using gravity and shaking tables, but we're still getting 86% recovery out of the gold. It's a very unique kind of gold, very coarse. It's very easy to get the gold out. We do have everything needed to start a CIL part of the plant, that's cyanide, so that we can go to above 90% recovery. That's something that will happen probably by the end of 2026. But right now, we're very happy with the recovery. And what is not recovered, we can reprocess once we start the cyanide part of the plant later. So it's not lost. We're building a bank in what we call the tailings that will be reprocessed later. About 200 people at site in a very remote area. That requires camp upgrades, it's cantina, it's accommodation, it's travel, it's communication, and now we're looking at finally getting also power to site, which will be a huge improvement. Also, when it comes to diesel usage, which is the second largest cost at site. This is a very, very remote area. You can see from the pictures, the excavator, it's not tipping into the hole, but it's making the hole deeper. This is a new vertical shaft that we're doing. I will tell you a bit more about it. You have our geologist here looking at the gold deep beneath into the mine already. And you have part of the processing plant here that is crushing the ore, milling it, and making it ready for production. Just a few pictures. The processing plant, it's a large-scale processing plant, but still not compared to the big ones you have around the world. But you have all the elements of a big plant, just a bit smaller. The right-hand top, you'll see the visible gold that is very unique and what characterizes the Segele deposit. You can see visible gold almost everywhere. That's rare. That's something you seldom see, and it's a very unique aspect of the Segele deposit. When it rains, it rains. We have a rainy season, makes it very difficult to work, but we do continue work. We work all year round, so we just have to accommodate and find ways to work with it. When it's not raining, you can see it's nice and green and fresh. It's a beautiful place. And finally there you have smelting of the gold happening on a monthly by monthly basis at site these days. So we're making small doré bars at site. Those are being shipped and sold to the National Bank currently. But we are expecting to start exporting at the beginning of next year, or beginning 2026. We have a refinery agreement with MKS PAMP in Switzerland, which is one of the 11 LBMA-approved refineries in the world. So that's a stamp of approval yet again for what we're doing. They have clients like Newmont and Barrick, and they also have Akobo, a small company like ours. So we're doing things the right way. So the most important thing right now is a new vertical shaft. It's underway. We expect it to be operational during first quarter next year. That will take us from the 6-7 kilos a month up to 50 kilos a month. And when you think about us being break even at 5 kilos a month, then getting to 50 kilos a month will be a significant cash flow machine for us. There are some details here. I won't go through everything. You can have a look. But this is what we're looking at. And you can see a small sketch here of all the drill holes that we've done. You can see the resource being a bit orange with dots. That part is actually one of the higher grades. It's close to 40 grams per ton. And I'll say a bit about the high-grade nature of our deposit. So Segele is far above your typical mine. You usually mine around 1 to 3 grams per ton. What we have is on an average 22 grams per ton, which means that we have a very low unit cost compared to the gold we're taking out. And you can see here from the shaking table, this is something you rarely see around. Normally, you'll be lucky if you see a small line of gold on the right-hand side. This is what we call a golden wing. It's unique. And if you look at the way they're actually describing the different grades, you have the low grade, average grade, high grade, and you have the bonanza grade. A lot of what we're working with is bonanza grade. It's extremely rich. And what they usually say is that when you find gold somewhere, you'll find it close by, and you'll find more. So this resource is open at depth. We will continue to find gold going deeper. We expect it to be more gold around the existing mine. But we also have an ambition to explore more. I'll tell more about that. Just the Ethiopian investment climate is very positive these days. Mining is a core pillar. They're supporting us. This is from the inauguration with the Prime Minister, the Gambella President. This is a very, well, what to say, a city that is in development. It's developing every day. So there's a lot of good things happening on the investment climate side in Ethiopia these days. And for us, we have a growth potential, not only around the existing mine, which is called Segele, which you can see here in the middle. We also have what we call a Gingibil-Joru corridor, about 15 kilometers long, where we already have done a lot of work. We see a lot of gold, visible gold. It's a typical quartz vein system that you find in other big or large-scale mines around the world. So we have ambitions to develop this further into 2026. We expect also very soon to be awarded a new 1,200 square kilometer area north of us. That's circled in the top corner where you see Gambela region. It's still on the same Arabian-Nubian shield. It's up towards two other existing mines under development, Kefi and Allied Gold. They have developed a large-scale deposit of close to more than 2 million ounces. So we're pretty confident that we will be able to develop these new areas also over the next few years. So the near future will complete the shaft, focusing on getting the operation stable, ramp up the production from 5, 6, 7 to 50 kilos a month, access the deeper zones, and we'll restart near mine drilling. We have our own drill rig that you see here on the picture. We'll start a wider drill program for the Gingibil-Joru corridor, and just in general continue focusing on improving and expanding. So summary, producing high-grade mine with clear upside. It's a visible path to growth through the new shaft, through exploration and plant development. We're very low cost, disciplined operator with improving cash flow these days. And we have strong support and improving investment climate and attracting long-term potential in what we will say is an underexplored gold district. That means the whole of Ethiopia. Small picture from our airstrip, which is needed for emergency, safety, and also transporting gold out when we're selling it to the National Bank or when we start exporting early next year. Thank you.
Tack så mycket, Jörgen. Thank you very much. Just so I understand correct, if somebody didn't, it looked like you historically you have been working in an open pit, right? Or
no,
no,
it's not an open pit at all. It's pure underground.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is no open pit. We have 2 small tunnels right now going into the ore body, where we're extracting gold and producing it, and the new shaft will be a much bigger vertical shaft. So right now it's that makes it a very low environmental footprint also, very small, because normally the open pits, they're huge, they're making a very big hole in the ground, so this is limited.
That's what I was asking for, actually, because it looked almost like even if you went vertical. Anyhow, I mean, Ethiopia, I think some people in the audience maybe experienced the bad development during the 70s and so on.
Oh yeah.
When they moved to Soviet and nowadays, I think when you look at it, it seems that they are quite liberal. And how is the country developing? I mean, when it comes to political risk, so to say.
Yeah, it's Africa, it's Ethiopia. There is risk, but I've never been so confident and this much faith in the future of Ethiopia. They've done a lot over the last few years. They have floated their currency successfully. They're part of the IMF World Bank program. They're getting their inflation down. They're opening to international banks. They want to be part of the international capital market. They want to be a driving force on the African Horn and in Africa in general. It's the second largest in population country in Africa. So to me, it's never been better. However, there is always a risk working in such a country. But I feel like Prime Minister Abiy, he's been there since 2018. There's a new election now in 2026. He will be re-elected. He will continue pushing these reforms, and he has a vision and a clear agenda for where to get Ethiopia. So it looks promising, and there are still some bumps in the road.
Yeah, of course. And it's also like it's like Germany or the US, right? It's a federal government, right? And those parts that you are present is very stable, right?
It's very stable. It's when you talk about the 1970s and the communist regime, a lot of bureaucracy was developed during that period, and that bureaucracy is still there for good and bad. But if you look at the good part, it's stable. It's there. It works. But with any bureaucracy, it takes a bit of time. So you need to be patient. You need to have a bit stamina working in Ethiopia. 15 years it took us to get here today. So yeah, but it's easy to work with the government, and you get a lot of support these days.
Yeah. Very good. Are you paying any special taxes, being a commodity company?
Well, yeah. So this is a very international, call it competitive structure. Money flows where it's easy in and easy out. So you can't really be a lot different from your neighboring countries. So they typically have a royalty on sales, which every other country has. It's a 5% royalty on the revenue. They have a normal corporate tax of 25%. There are some community funds that you have to pay to develop the community, which is part of, you know, making an impact. But nothing special. It's pretty straightforward. They get their share, and the shareholders get their share.
Yeah, and you're Norwegian. You do the same in Norway, right?
It's exactly the same. I guess the oil industry even has a lot higher taxation system than in Ethiopia.
Yeah. I think long term, I mean, you said you're going to grow your production up to 50 kilograms. What you're going to go with do with the cash flow? Do you think you will invest in more new properties, or will you pay dividends, or what's the long term?
The long term, which is not that long either, because of the significant cash flow, we'll start by repaying our loan. Yeah, that's number one. We have a down payment plan until mid-2027. At that point, that loan will be gone.
And that's roughly 300 million NOK or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And then we plan to reinvest also during that period. We have the opportunity to reinvest. So we will reinvest into some of these exploration projects that we have. At the end, I guess a dividend is something our shareholders definitely would like to see, and it's something that is possible. Yeah. So it'll be a... Yeah, someone will have to tell, is it good to reinvest into the project that we're operating, or is it a good thing to do dividend when that time comes?
Okay, time flies, Jørgen.
It does.
We don't have that much time left, but I think maybe you mentioned it, but I didn't write it down. How long? What's the lifetimes for the existing mine?
The existing mine lifetime is around 3 years. Yeah. So we'll be efficient in taking that gold out. At the same time, we know it goes deeper, so it will continue after 3 years, that's for sure. Yeah. We're pretty sure we have more targets just around the mine. So I would say yes, 3 years on the current resource estimate, but we do definitely expect that to expand and to increase.
Yeah, and you have the exploration licenses to develop in the...
We have the existing one, which is for another 7 years. As long as we're mining, you'll get it renewed every year. So we have the visibility to develop this in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Yeah.
Okay. Jørgen, thank you very much for your coming.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.